Hi, my name is Photosynthesis and I'm going to be doing a draw my process. So the way I'm made is kind of how all of you guys are made. Well, not really, but there's a process to how I am made, just like you guys. So the way I work is sunlight touches the leaf, and the leaf may be viewed as a solar collector crammed full of photosynthetics and turns that into energy and then turns that into sugar and other organic molecules. So to make me, I need light, water, and carbon dioxide. The sunlight's my mom and the water's like my dad. And the CO2, well, I guess you could say it's kind of like one of my grandparents. Anyways, well, you all should be happy that I'm born, because if it wasn't for me, all of you guys would die. Literally, because I produce glucose and oxygen, which all of you guys need in order to live. The main part where I am made is the leaf, kind of like how you humans, main part where you developed is the belly. So the main part where I take place is the chloroplast. The chloroplast has the stroma, which is the dense liquid in the chloroplast. Think of the stroma like the water you're surrounded by when you're in your mom's belly. The thylakoid maintains the concentration of the chloroplast, also where light reaction happens. Thylakoids are like little discs that like to stack up onto each other, and when they are stacked, they're called the granum. Chlorophyll is something in the chloroplast that gives the plant its green color. Chlorophyll is like those skin cells that in the human body, you know, the skin cells that give you your pigment. Well, yeah, chlorophyll is basically the same thing. So, in order to make me, there are two stages. It's not like how with you guys, where there's just one stage and your parents, 1, 2, 3, done. No, there are two stages for me. Light reaction and the Calvin cycle.
So the first step is light reaction. Light reaction takes place in the thylakoids. So what the light reaction does is that it captures light energy and transforms it into chemical energy. So light goes in, as does water. Doing this is how photosystem 2 is started. Photosystem 2 absorbs light energy, aka photons, in the chlorophyll. Photons are kind of like candy to a child. And just like children get excited for candy, photosystem 2 gets excited from photons. So, once it is excited, the primary electron sends it down the electron transport chain, providing energy to pump hydrogen ions from the stroma across the thylakoid membrane into the thylakoid compartment. Hydrogen ions are more concentrated in the thylakoid compartment than in the stroma. Hydrogen ions diffuse from high to low regions of concentration, driving the production of ATP. The ATP synthase complex accomplishes the phosphorylation of ADP to ATP, providing part of the energy for subsequent biosynthesis through the Calvin cycle. After this, water splitting occurs, in which it splits to 2 hydrogen ions, 2 electrons, and 1 oxygen. The hydrogen molecules are then released through the thylakoid membrane, a process called ATP synthase. The Calvin cycle takes place in the stomata. The stomata is where oxygen and carbon enter and leave the leaf. Carbon fixation is the first step of the Calvin cycle. The enzyme the cell needs for carbon fixation is rubisco. Rubisco is responsible for fixing the carbon. The Calvin cycle uses energy from NADPH and ATP to produce a 3-carbon sugar known as G3P. G3P is to regenerate the RUBP, which repeats photosynthesis process. RUBP is the 5-carbon organic compound that attaches to CO2, producing 2 molecules of 3-PGA, therefore continuing the process of photosynthesis.
And so there is an equation to me, and I guess it's kind of like a mathematical way of how I'm made. So in the process of the light, the green parts of the plants produce organic compounds and oxygens from carbon dioxide and water. Using the molecular formulas, we can summarize the complex of series of a chemical reaction with me. With this chemical equation, we use glucose here to simplify the relationship between me and the respiration. But the direct product of me is actually a 3-carbon sugar that can be used to make glucose. Water appears on both sides of the equation because of the 12 molecules that are consumed, and 6 of the molecules are newly formed. So all you need to make me is 6 CO2 and 12 H2O, add sunlight and turn that into energy, and that's how I am mathematically made. Well, that's pretty much it about me, so thanks for watching.